If this message reaches you, it is meant for you. For anyone seeking inner peace today, you are not the mind. Listen. There is a teaching of Jesus so powerful, so life-changing, so identity-shifting that if humanity truly understood it, every fear would soften, every wound would begin healing, and every person would live from a higher consciousness. But this teaching has been misunderstood for centuries. People reduced it to doctrine, softened it into metaphor, or turned it into something exclusive, when it was meant to set every soul free. 5 simple words. The Father and I are one. Most people hear those words and think Jesus was separating himself from humanity, that he was saying, I am divine and you are not. But that was never his message. Those words were not about elevating himself. They were about awakening you. Jesus never taught separation. He never said God was far away. He never implied that you were less than him. His entire life was a living demonstration of what you truly are. When he said, "The Father and I are one," he wasn't claiming something special. He was revealing the truth hidden inside you, the same truth he wanted you to remember. Jesus didn't point to himself so you would worship him. He pointed to himself so you would recognize what lives within you. His teachings weren't meant to create a religion. They were meant to awaken an identity. He didn't come to show you who he was. He came to show you who you are. The kingdom is within you. You are the light of the world. What I do, you shall do also, and greater things. These were not symbolic. They were literal invitations to awaken to the divine presence within your own being. There was a woman in Kentucky named Sarah. She grew up being told that God was above her, watching her mistakes, disappointed whenever she fell short. She prayed with fear instead of love, with guilt instead of trust. She believed she had to earn God's approval. Then one day during a Bible study, an elderly woman said something that pierced her heart. Jesus didn't come to show you who was He came to show you who you are. Sarah went home, sat on her porch, and whispered, "If the Father and Jesus are one, and the kingdom is within me, maybe God hasn't been outside all along. Maybe God has been here, inside me." She felt a warmth rise in her chest, soft and quiet, like a presence she had known her whole life but forgotten. That moment didn't change her beliefs. It changed her identity. She no longer felt unworthy. She felt joined, guided, loved from within. When Jesus said, "The Father and I are one," he wasn't speaking from a human personality. He was speaking from Christ consciousness, the awareness that God is the core of your being. Christ is not the last name of Jesus. Christ is not a person. Christ is the divine presence within every soul. Jesus awakened fully to it. Most people are still asleep to it. That's the only difference. Joel Goldsmith said it beautifully. Christ is the divine presence in every person, not in some people. Not in holy people, in everyone. There was a man named Ben from Ohio. He lost everything, his job, his marriage, his confidence. He believed God was disappointed in him. One night he found an old Bible in his attic with a handwritten note inside. God lives where you breathe. He didn't understand it, but something in him softened. He closed his eyes and whispered, "God, if you're not far away, if you're actually here, help me feel you." What he felt wasn't dramatic, but it was real. A warmth, a peace, a presence inside his chest, as if God wasn't above him, but within him. That single moment didn't fix his external life, but it healed the most dangerous belief that he was separate from God. And once that belief dissolved, Everything else began to rebuild in a new direction. Jesus said, "The kingdom is within you, not above you, not beyond you. Within you." He wanted you to stop begging for God outside and start recognizing God inside. He didn't want followers, he wanted awakeners. He didn't want worship, he wanted remembrance. He didn't want you to place him on a throne. He wanted you to see your own divine nature. "The Father and I are one" was not meant to be the exception. It was meant to be the example. A teenage girl named Emily from California felt invisible. Her parents fought every night. Her classmates ignored her. She prayed, but it always felt like her prayers were going up into an empty sky. One evening, her aunt told her softly, "Emily, God doesn't hear you from up there. He hears you from inside your heart." Something clicked. That night, she placed her hand on her chest and whispered, "God, are you here?" She felt a warmth bloom inside her, gentle and familiar, like a quiet yes. She cried, not because she was sad, but because she finally felt seen, not from outside, but from within. That moment didn't remove her challenges, but it removed the belief that she was alone. And once she felt God inside her, truly inside her, everything in her life softened. You were never separate from God. Not for one breath. Not for one thought. Separation is an illusion created by the mind, reinforced by fear, passed down by tradition, but never spoken by Jesus. He didn't say, "I am divine and you are not." He said, "The Father loves you as he loves me." He said, "You are the light of the world." He said, "Ye are gods." He said, "What I do, you shall do also." His message was not that only he was one with God, but that you have forgotten you are too. There was another man, Anthony from New York, who lost his son in a tragic accident. His world shattered. He stopped praying because he believed God had abandoned him. During a grief support meeting, an older pastor said gently, "God doesn't stand on the other side of your pain. He sits inside it with you." That night, Anthony sat on the floor clutching a photo of his son and whispered through tears, "If you're here, show me." He didn't hear anything, but he felt something, a quiet presence inside his grief, holding him from within. He said, "For the first time since my son died, I knew God wasn't above the sky. He was in the center of my heartbreak. It didn't fix the pain, but it changed how he carried it, because he no longer carried it alone. Your separation from God is the greatest lie you were ever told. Your oneness with God is the truth you were born with. You don't need to earn God. You don't need to chase God. You don't need to search for God. You are the place where God expresses himself. You are the vessel, the temple, the instrument, the breath through which the divine experiences this world. Imagine for a moment that the same presence that lived in Jesus breathes in you right now. Imagine that the same light that worked through him is hidden in your chest. Imagine that the same Christ consciousness he awakened to is the same consciousness calling from within you. This isn't arrogance. This is spiritual reality. Jesus didn't say, "I am the only light." He said, "You are the light of the world." He didn't say, "I alone am the way." He said, "The kingdom is within you." He didn't say, "Worship me." He said, "Follow me," meaning awaken as I have awakened. You don't pray to reach God. You pray to remember God. You don't meditate to find God. You meditate to quiet the noise that hides God. You don't surrender to lose yourself. You surrender to return to your true self. You are not a beggar before the divine. You are the expression of the divine. And when Jesus said, The Father and I are one. He wanted you to one day realize the same. The Father and I are one. If this message touched your heart, breathe. Whisper within yourself, I am one with the divine. And if this spoke to your soul, please like the video comment with I am one. Subscribe and give a super thanks. To support these teachings so they reach more people who are awakening, healing, and remembering who they truly are.